cancel culture fails and the people it affects. Oh, the next Geraldo? What the crap am I, a talk show host? That's what I've been doing lately with these. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42. That's right. I am the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. You know, just get it out of the way. Get out of the way. I'm going to say some things that are going to offend people. And you know what? Being offended isn't something that should be protected. People don't have the right to not be offended ever. And this might offend some of the people who do the dumbest things in society. Oh yeah. So we're talking about some of the cancel culture fails, in my opinion, because I don't like it when they hurt people who were oppressed, people who dug themselves out of really, really bad situations and were celebrated and appreciated for things. Oh yeah, we're talking Aunt Jemima today. And so I was going to make a video on this a few days ago, been under the weather because of sinus pressure. None of anybody's fault or anything. Please offend me, I want it, Morbid Fury says. Yeah, we're in the middle of the live stream, so if you guys like having the chat up on screen, absolutely let me know in the comment section. Also, if you guys do like my content, like, subscribe, share. Every month YouTube unbells everybody every time they update the algorithm, so you gotta resubscribe, you gotta make sure the bells are re-clicked, all the things. And here we go. Aunt Jemima, they've canceled her. They've removed the branding. They've removed the image. And to the white people who erase Black history with hashtag Aunt Jemima. See, now, I know that things change. I know that we progress as a society. I know that we do our best to learn and be more fair, treat each other with more respect. Why erase the successful story of a Black woman who's proud of her work? Well, because it doesn't hold up to today's standards. And in 20 years, today's standards are going to look really, really, really scary and sad and pathetic and pretty terrifying.
What do you want? When do you want it?
And you guys are exactly right. Ignoring the past is always a bad idea. Absolutely. I thought Black Lives Mattered. Well, apparently hers doesn't. Apparently Aunt Jemima's work doesn't matter anymore because it's just too controversial for people to actually, pick up a book, learn something, Google it. You have the entirety of the human knowledge at your fingertips all day, every day, on a daily basis, and I guarantee you're glued to it as much as I am. You can learn something, and you can learn why destroying things like legacies is harmful and dangerous and offensive. And I'm offended by this now, and in 20 years I'll probably be more offended by this. But here we go. When virtue signaling makes you erase the success of a Black woman proud of her work, the world knew her as Aunt Jemima, but her given name was Nancy Green, and she was a true American success story. She was born a slave in 1834, Montgomery County, Kentucky, and became a wealthy superstar in the advertising world as its first living trademark. Green was 56 years old when she was selected as a spokesperson for the new ready-mix self-rising pancake flour and made her debut in 1893 at a fair and exposition in Chicago. 1893, right after, people decided, hey, owning people is a bad idea. That's a bad idea. You treat people with respect, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just outdated. At a fair and exposition in Chicago, she demonstrated the pancake mix and served thousands of pancakes and became an immediate star. She was a good storyteller, her personality was warm and appealing, and her showmanship was exceptional. Wow, I can talk. Her exhibition booth drew so many people that special security personnel were assigned to keep the crowds moving. Nancy Green was signed to a lifetime contract, traveled on promotional tours all over the country, and was extremely well paid. Her financial freedom and stature as a national spokesperson enabled her to become a leading advocate against poverty and in favor of equal rights for folks in Chicago. She maintained her job until her death in 1923 at the age of 89. And she was a remarkable woman, and she has just been erased. Yeah, and I'm not okay with that. And there's more. There are more actresses who have portrayed Aunt Jemima over the years. There are many, many more actresses who were able to support themselves. They were able to support their children, raise families, be independent because of this, because the company that owns this, because the company said, you know what, we like you and we don't care what color you are. We like your storytelling. We want to help. We want to make you a star. I'm sure she didn't feel used, exploited, taken advantage of. I'm sure she didn't feel like she was a token anything. Kentucky woman who portrays Aunt Jemima reacts to the brand being retired. Now there's another Kentucky woman. I guess they were keeping it a tradition of Southern women. All right, let's see what the most recent spokesperson has to say. She might have a different story. She might have a different, because I don't want to just give one side to this. Here we go. In Lexington, Kentucky, Quaker Oats announced Wednesday that they were retiring the brand logo. The woman who inspired Aunt Jemima was a native to Kentucky. Deborah Falk is an actress with the Kentucky Humanities. I can't pronounce this, something series. She portrays Nancy Green, a Kentucky woman born into slavery. Oh, she kind of looks like her, too. She just kind of look like her. See, look at this woman. She's so happy, too. Like, I feel so bad that people aren't going to know this. That people are just going to be like, it's right. All right, well, was it at the time, though? Was it at the time? We cannot hold them to today's standards, right? Because today's standards are so crazy that, you know, they're going to be outdated in about a week. So, they're already outdated, in my opinion. So, here's what the newest actress says. Green worked for the Walker family and moved with them to Chicago in 1872. She met a businessman, R.T. Davies, and he hired her to play Aunt Jemima, a popular minstrel character, to promote his pre-mixed pancake recipe at the Chicago World's Fair. Now, here's the thing. The history of, like, the whole minstrel stuff, the history of blackface basically was because black performers were not allowed on stage, and a lot of the people painted themselves up as a way to bring attention to, hey, there's all these great storytellers and performers that we can't even that aren't even allowed to be in this building. How do we pay tribute to them? And I know it's offensive today, I get it. I'm fully aware that, yeah, don't put black makeup on your face. Never do that today, because it's going to piss off people, because let's face it, people are treated with respect now, right? Sometimes. I would hope. Today has no standards. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Promote her pancakes. They sat her in a giant flour barrel pretending to be Aunt Jemima. So she would make the batter to show people how easy it is to make the product. Green gained financial success. All right, here we go. So we already heard all this stuff. On the one hand, she was adored by these people who lined up to see her prepare these delicious meals, Falk said. On the other hand, you have people upset with you for portraying this role, and we just came out of slavery. So there are two sides to every story. This is the same sort of debate that they had with Mammy from Gone with the Wind, you know, where she was actually being criticized for being proud of the role. So I don't want to just say one way or another here. I do want to keep that in mind that, yeah, there was backlash back then in the day, too, because people were like, hey, more than 130 years later, Green's memory is still standing on grocery shelves. Quaker Oats is now retiring the Aunt Jemima brand based on stereotype. It speaks to the sign of the times. It definitely supports I definitely support Quaker Oats for pulling that for everyone. All right, so the new actress is actually on board with this because she is absolutely right. It does speak to the sign of the times, but at the same time, to just remove it destroys the legacy. So, which is more harmful to culture? I mean, I get it. Like, we're kind of in a day and age where people are so offended and so sensitive about everything that they need warning labels on movies that they might be offended by. I just wish we had better education. I wish we weren't so against people knowing what the crap they're talking about and doing and saying, because I was always under the impression that they left Aunt Jemima there so they wouldn't erase her legacy. That was always why. And the same thing with Land O'Lakes. Land O'Lakes Butter tried to pull the Native American woman off of there, and people obviously had some backlash to that because they said, hey, we already acknowledged that we took the land way back in the day, you know, before my people were here. The land was taken. Now you're taking the Native American woman and erasing her legacy as well and just pretending it never happened. So there's two sides to this story on all of these brands and things. And to have all this happen now really feels so bandwagon hopping, so much for marketing, so much for attention. And that's why I didn't want to make a video on this a little sooner. Plus, I was really, really under the weather. Falk has performed the one-woman show for the past 3 years, inspired by Green's story. After spending time in Hollywood, she's returned home to her alma mater. She studied theater and is an undergrad. She's now working on her PhD and wants to give back. All right, so this woman who actually portrays Aunt Jemima now is not, like, it's perfectly fine with them removing it. I wonder what's going to happen to her legacy, though. Are people just going to complain about her for portraying a character that people might view as racist? I mean, are they going to go after her next? Are they going to go after Quaker Oats? Where does all of this stop? Where do you just finally say, okay, we get it. Times have changed. People move, people evolve. I mean, I'm just kind of concerned if we don't put an end to all this stuff right now, that they're going to start going after people like her for portraying it. Because, you know how these people, they already eat their own anyway. Hello, Tina. Hey, Harry Monk, please, we will get a $5 donation, £5 donation, get me a Nerds. Absolutely. You guys can always super chat for tips, or for clips. Clips, tits, whatever. Hey, Chef Carolyn. Eric Davis, Mecha Auto. I know, well, they're just gonna get me anyway, no matter what I say. So, do you guys think that Quaker Oats might have actually been trying to be a little bit more progressive by including people of color right in a time where there's still a hotbed of, the slavery had just been disbanded, I guess. Slavery had just been removed. We were just going through this huge economic recession in 1923. You're going through the Great Depression, the stock market crash, all these things. So were they just trying to take advantage of her and exploit her based on this? Or do you think that they really thought that they were actually helping somebody? Or do you think they just saw dollar signs and like, oh, she's good at selling pancakes, and it didn't really matter one way or another? Maybe that was the case. I don't know. Yes, at the time, definitely being more progressive. Eric Davis says, when are you going to do a Gakino Sky live stream? Ooh, if they would not if they wouldn't get my channel for it. Maybe. Transcending Cthulhu says, Cocoa Pops Monkey versus Rice Krispie elves. It never ends. Exactly. And those are elves on the Rice Krispie box, right? Those are the elves. This is the thing. I'm not the person to decide this for everybody. All I can do is present the facts and say, you know what? It looks like to me, in 20 years, they're going to go after this actress for portraying Aunt Jemima if we keep going the way things are going. And I don't want to be a part of that society. I don't want to be a part of that society because look at what they're doing to this actress here, this other actress here. They just erased her legacy, and she was proud of the role, and she was happy to play this thing. I don't know. I can't answer it for her. Chef Carolyn, are they pulling my Uncle Ben's rice yet? Probably. I think they probably are. That was the next one. Harry Monk, £5 super chat. Well, thank you so much. I have no idea. Captain Crunch portrays pirates wrong. Well, Captain Crunch wasn't a pirate. He was supposed to be, like, Royal Navy, right? He wasn't supposed to be a pirate. They'll cancel Lucky Charms next. Probably. Except I think Irish people will be like, I don't fucking care. Fuck off. Any Irish people in chat? Oh, Lord. That's so funny. All right, you want the Nerds clip. So you want the Nerds clip. Let me find it. Which one? This one?
The answer is no. Thanks a lot. No. I'm a nerd. She's a nerd too.
No, Nerds. All right. Shut up, Nerds. Wrong Nerds. See, they kind of go hand in hand. You kind of have to have them singing about it. So, here we go. One more time.
Nerd!
I gotta find more clips then. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comment section of this video if I clip it and upload it tomorrow. Probably anything I do today will just be uploaded tomorrow. I'm going back to my live chat. And just like clockwork, once the Onion predicts the future and real life just 3 or 4 days before it happens, I think it's time to call it quits on humanity and let the aliens come.